Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Brinen, and I'm at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Today for our clinical bite, I'm going to teach you a really simple intervention that you can use both in session as well as having the individual use between sessions. It's called Imaginal Rehearsal. Simply, Imaginal Rehearsal is having somebody go in their mind and in great detail and vividness imagine what they're going to be doing. It could be a routine, it could be an intervention they're going to do, it could be something fun that they're looking forward to do, whatever it is. But the nice thing about Imaginal Rehearsal is it really served as almost like a CBT hat trick, right? We get three things for one shot. So the uses of Imaginal Rehearsal are going to be that one, the goal of it is going to be to increase the motivation to follow through on a routine or attempt an action plan that you've developed in session. Two, it actually allows us to decrease nighttime worry, that constantly thinking about what bad thing is going to happen right as you're going to sleep, which is a terrible time to sit and worry. Three, it increases the savoring, right? Holding on to those good things. But it's this idea of savoring before something happens. And in doing that, it will increase motivation, but it can actually increase some self-confidence as well. So the knock-on effect that we're hoping to get out of Imaginal Rehearsal is one, really just increasing the level of activity that somebody does and the following through on action plans. If we're increasing the activity, we're really going to be decreasing the impact of the negative symptoms. And so that's just like the video that we had on the get up and go routine. This is going to help us to hopefully follow through on that get up and go routine. Two, it's going to allow for decreased worry. When we decrease the worry, we're going to have improved sleep onset, right? So that amount of time between laying down and falling asleep is going to be improved. And then hopefully reduced opportunity for paranoia, right? That sort of fear and that unfounded threat belief will be reduced if we're not worrying as much at night. Finally, we're going to have, as I said before, that increased savoring, right? Really like holding on to what's going to be good when I wake up in the morning. And it might be increasing the savoring of a morning cup of coffee. It might be increased savoring of spending time with your dog or whatever those things are. With increased savoring, that's a key piece of helping somebody increase their self-confidence. So what is Imaginal Rehearsal, right? The first thing we're going to do is, in breaking it down, is we're going to review the activity or schedule in imagination, right? So I'm going to really think through step by step what it's going to be. I'm going to make it really vivid. I'm not going to tick through like it's a checklist. I'm really going to savor and kind of drink in each of those pieces as vividly as possible. Three, we're going to really savor each piece of the imagery, right? We're going to hold on to that. Four, we're going to, in session, look for any potential, when we do this in session, we're going to be looking for any potential obstacles that might come up, right? So for example, if I'm thinking about getting up and the individual goes, oh, but the floor's so cold, we may think to sort of put slippers by there or get a pair of socks at the side of the bed. If the individual thinks about having berries in the morning, but they don't really have anything in the refrigerator, we might talk about making sure that that's set up. So when we do Imaginal Rehearsal in session, it's a really good opportunity to plan for potential obstacles. Then once they've learned how to do this in session, we're going to have them complete it every night. If they take medicine, sometimes this is a great idea of having that Imaginal Rehearsal card right in with their medicine, right? So they take one medicine, they take two medicines, and then they take their third medicine, which is a little bit of CBT at night. And just going through, if you make a recording of the Imaginal Rehearsal, they might listen to it, but having them complete it at night. We want them then to plan to practice it every single night to build that motivation in the morning, right? Because if they're really thinking about what exciting things they're going to do in the morning or what they're going to do when they engage in an action plan, they'll be more likely to do it later on versus when the action plan just comes up and it's time to do it. If they're not prepared for it, they might not have that motivation to go and try it out. Finally, we really want to help them start connecting that there's a benefit in motivation with the Imaginal Rehearsal, right? So helping them see, oh, when I do this at night, I feel better in the morning. Also connecting that when I do the imaginal rehearsal at night, oh, I'm not worrying as much, so it's easier to go to sleep. When I'm doing the imaginal rehearsal at night, I'm feeling better about myself as I'm going to bed, right? So really connecting the benefits that they're drawing from the imaginal rehearsal. So let's go through the imaginal rehearsal right now. I'm going to perform an imaginal rehearsal. So if I'm thinking about my morning routine tomorrow, I'm going to walk through it in great vivid detail. So what I'm not going to do is say, oh, I wake up, I have my dog Bonnie go downstairs, I let her out, I empty the dishwasher, I have some coffee, I watch a video, I do some core exercise, I go for a walk, and I drive to work, right? That's not really motivating. Instead, I want to approach the imaginal rehearsal a little bit more like this. I'm laying in bed, it's nice and warm, and I hear my alarm clock slowly getting louder and louder and louder, and I look over and it's brightening up. I hear Bonnie sitting at the side of my bed, tapping her tail, and I feel her warm nose on my hand as I scratch her little chin and her little beard before I get up. I go into the kitchen and I pull down the big can of coffee and I put my scoops into the coffee maker. As the scoops go into the coffee maker, I smell the coffee percolating right up my nose, and I feel the front of my head get a little bit brighter. I look over and Bonnie's at the door sitting nicely, and she starts scratching at the door. I let her out and I feel the coolness go over my face and on my arms. I close the door and I start the coffee, and I hear the slow building up of the gurgling of the coffee. I pour the coffee out and I feel the warmth on my hands as I sit on the couch and I take the first sip of coffee. So do you see the difference between the first one where I just name all of the things I'm doing, the second one where I really imagine all of the things I'm going to do as I get into it? And I can take that through my whole morning routine of, tying on my shoes, walking out, hearing the garage door open, feeling the blast of cool air. So the goal of this is to help an individual slowly build up their motivation by imagining it ahead of time. I hope that's really helpful. Try it out. Let me know how it works with the individuals. Again, just like any intervention that we try, if it doesn't work, it just becomes data for the next time that we can problem solve and see how to make it work a little bit better. Also remember, try it out in session and then assign it. Thanks so much for today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the next Clinical Bite.